Okay, so sorry it took me a while to make this video, but just figured I should definitely get around to it. So a lot of you have asked how I was able to achieve independent aileron control with my wings, so individual channel control, but still utilizing this nice single plug connection point. And so what it really came down to was how these really work is you have your plus minus, your positive negative, so that's your red and black wires, and then all these white signal wires, these are signal wires, so those send the actual control signal to the servos. So everything in the wing gets powered by this red and black wire right there, and then it gets told what to do through these white wires. So how I first determined which one was my aileron, and I believe I also have my flaps as independent, so I did that. So this is the wing plug, and if you look at the back, it tells you, in a sense, what controls what. So you could see, if we're looking at the actual connection point here, the rightmost and the second to leftmost pin, that's our plus minus right there. And if you follow the paths of some of these pin connection points, this is where the servos plug into, you can figure out which pins go to where. And so that's how I started off, by making sure. And then all I did was I would use my X-Acto blade to lift up the clips on these connectors. I'd pull out the signal wires, and I would plug the signal wire into the signal output of a servo tester, and I would make sure that I have the right connection. I'd make sure if I move the potentiometer dial on the servo tester, that the aileron would move. Once I knew that I had the correct signal wire pulled, what I would do is I would connect it to a servo plug like you see here. And so you'll notice going into the receiver, I only have the signal wire. And so what that does is, the servo receives its signal exactly, it receives the signal from the receiver port. However, and the receiver doesn't know that it's not getting powered from the receiver. What I leave this in for is to actually power the whole wing. So the blue box I leave in to pretty much control the nose light. I have an Asan landing gear sequence module here, because I didn't like the delay in the system. So essentially, I only keep the blue box in here to run the nose gear light, as well as utilize these servo plugs. So that's all you have to do, is you just have to, I believe I have one is aileron, one is the flap that I have pulled out. And you just have to pull these out, make sure you got the right signal, and then connect that signal wire into the signal port of the channel you want to use on your receiver.